activated. So hello and good morning, everyone. I welcome you to our workshop on built environment digital twinning. I'm very happy that so many of you joined us for our workshop here. My name is André Bormann. I'm heading the chair of computational modeling and simulation at the Technical University of Munich. And we are very happy that we host Ioannis Pilakis from the Cambridge University, who is our fellow, our IIS fellow, who has organized this workshop. And I thank you very much for this. And now I hand over to Ioannis directly, please.
Thank you, Andre. I was asked by Fabian to ask all of you whether it's okay for us to take pictures of you during the event. Does anyone object? For a small fee. Okay, so you can arrange a fee with Zero. All right, I don't see an objection, so thank you very much. So, welcome to the International Workshop on Built Environment Digital Twinning. I'll go through the agenda and explain a little bit about how we plan to run this event today and tomorrow. But I'll start first with a little bit of housekeeping. I'm assuming you all know registration desk is at the atrium. They will be available during mornings and during breaks, and they can provide help with program times, location of certain rooms, taxes, printing, and so on. If you haven't registered already, please do. Your registration name tag actually has a sticker on there that's very important on how we're going to run the brainstorming sessions later on. Also, the dinner today is for all registered participants, in case there's any doubt. So, scope and objectives. This workshop is part of a Hans Fischer Senior Fellowship sponsored by the Technical University of Munich Institute for Advanced Study, and also supported by Siemens. As Andrew was mentioning, I'm the fellow in this position. Andrew is the host. And there's also a PhD candidate supported through that, Yuan Dong Pan, that many of you might have interacted with. Yuan Dong is right there. The main purpose of this workshop is to try to generate some insight on digital twins for the, broadly speaking, the construction industry, architecture, engineering, construction, and operation. I was talking with Peter Loeffler earlier today, and he was talking about how we are all over the place when it comes to this subject, and it's quite possible that we will be all over the place today and tomorrow, but that's good. It's a beginning point of the conversation. It will help us try to understand, is there anything in common there? Is there something we can all agree on that we can use to move forward? So what we'll try to do is try to understand what are the key research and technology transfer challenges to be addressed, and have a sense of how we might go about, what is the right direction to pursue along that route. And the hope is that we will collect feedback from all of you through the brainstorming sessions and take those outcomes and then publish a position paper back to all of you to have a sense of what came out of this workshop. We also have presentations, of course, as part of the workshop. It's not just a brainstorming session, but the main purpose of these presentations is to stimulate your thinking, okay? Get you to think, okay, well, yeah, that's interesting, but maybe I would do it differently, or yes, I didn't think about that. Maybe I should start looking into that direction a little bit more. So, what are the main focus areas? This is straight effectively from the website. We're looking at 4 main topics. One this morning, another one this afternoon, and same thing, 2 more tomorrow. The one this morning is what we call from the real world, from the physical twin, going on to the digital twin. And effectively we're looking at a key question, how to automate the generation of digital twins across scales and built environment asset types. Please note this question in your head. This is the question that you will be posed to discuss at the first brainstorming session later today. The digital twin itself is the afternoon session, and that's when we will start talking about what should it be, what should it not be, and how to structure it such that it's standardized yet extensible, able to address key use cases directly and perhaps specialty use cases with extensions, cloud and computationally friendly, and scalable and verifiable. Tomorrow morning, we'll talk about the process from the digital twin to the physical and back, and effectively how to best exploit the digital twin in the use cases identified tonight, this afternoon, and how to best maintain it up to date and link it to IoT devices and sensors. The last bit tomorrow afternoon, last but not least at all, is tech transfer market penetration. And I think there's huge room for innovation there. What industry business models are needed to best exploit this new direction? And how should such models be introduced or promoted to achieve fast market penetration? Fast in the sense much faster than BIM had in its lifetime. So, if you put this on an agenda, again from the website, this is what we have this morning. As soon as I'm done with this presentation, I will invite Peter Loeffler to come up and provide the Siemens welcome. We'll then move on to a presentation from the Center for Digital Build Britain, Mark Enzer, who will be talking to us about the CDBB perspective on digital twins. And then we will finish with a presentation from me on generating geometric digital twins. I think that will take us to about lunchtime. And then we can break for lunch and then come back and have the first brainstorming session right after that. I'll explain in a moment how we're going to run those sessions. At the end of that, there will be a break, after which we will start the second session. Now, you might notice that the first presentation in the second session is actually relevant to the first. That's because we don't live in an ideal world and we can't get the speakers exactly when we want them. Professor Daniel Kremers is teaching this morning. He's unavailable, so even though his session is most relevant to the morning slot, he's been moved on to the afternoon. My hope is that if he manages to arrive right after lunch, we might actually move his presentation right before the brainstorming session, and then have the brainstorming session right afterwards. So we'll see how it goes. The rest of the presentations, we have the structure of the digital twins with Andrew Borman, the future of digital twin standards with Jakob Beetz, and then a break and moving on to the brainstorming session. We'll then go on to a dinner slot tonight, and then moving on tomorrow, we'll start with the using the digital twins session. First with Berit Wessler from Siemens talking about dynamic data and digital twins. Then with Professor Gang Lee talking about using digital twins for buildings. Then with Dr. Ilka May on using digital twins for infrastructure. And then our last session will be, again, the brainstorming session, which will then conclude with lunch. The last one tomorrow afternoon on tech transfer and market penetration will be opened with Raphael Sachs on bringing the digital twins to the market. Continuing on with perspectives from industry by Wolfgang Haas and Frank Weiss from Siemens and Oracle respectively. Again, a break and then the brainstorming session relevant to that particular topic. At the very end, Andrew will come back here and handle the closing session of the event. Now, I've left out the explanations about the brainstorming sessions because I have a specific slide for that. We have, by the way, 4, let's call them super moderators, starting from Professor Lucio Soebelmann from USC, Professor Uwe Stila from TUM, Janos Kish from Siemens. Is Janos here so far? Well, hopefully he'll arrive later today. And Stefan Kaufmann from Allplan at the very last slot. I will ask Stefan to come up in a minute to explain a little bit more about the process for the brainstorming. Some general things. What will happen is we will split into groups, brainstorm the questions I posed earlier, and then report back the outcomes of each group. The super moderator, his job is to keep the time, visit the groups, and make sure that the conversation is progressing constructively. And then for each group, every group will have effectively, let's call it a scribe and a moderator. The scribe will be keeping notes of the conversation. This is what we will use later on to write the position paper. The moderator will just help the conversation move along. And I've asked already several individuals to serve on this role, so thank you very much for doing this. Your name tags have a color sticker which defines which group you're in. So if you have a yellow sticker, you're here in this room. If you have a red sticker, I think you're going to the conference room around the corner. Yes, Yandong?
Yes,
Right at the back, yeah. If you have a green sticker, you're moving upstairs to the first floor. Yandong?
Yeah.
Getting confirmations. And the blue sticker, it's the atrium space directly above us as soon as you get up the staircase. Stefan.
Yeah, good morning from my side too. I was asked to give insight of how we could do the brainstorming sessions, and actually our experience over the last year is that brainwriting is a far more efficient way. So we just briefly explain how this works. It's very simple. If you enter your room, there's always pens and there's these papers, and each of you take one or two of these papers, describes an idea that is well visible for all of the others to better discuss later, and describe it with a little pen here what is really meant. What you do, so after 5 to 10 minutes we come to the presentation round. So you take your papers and you present this in brief words. We are a lot of people, so this will be the challenge, to have this in an efficient way. Explain your idea in brief to your group and try to sort this then to a common structure. And this is already in the end all. We will have a lot of ideas well structured, and this will be presented then to the big auditorium in the end. Thanks.
All right. Thank you very much, Stefan. This was literally arranged 10 minutes ago. So, may I then close the welcome and invite Peter Loeffler to give the Zimmer talk.